in certain circles, there are people who can but won't. And their excuses, I never learned. I was never taught. Who do you think taught us? Some of us go to school, true enough. Others of us get out there and break stuff or fix it. Sometimes a combination of both. Like, I didn't know nothing the first time I picked up a wrench. But here I am, almost 40, and I'm still using wrenches. So the first time I did something that was worth anything was on my 14th birthday. I'd spent the summer cutting grass, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but my mother, uh, rest in peace, my mother had and this is a cool vehicle. It was like a 90 or 89 Ram Charger. Y'all remember those? Ugly looking things. It was like a SUV, two door. Anyway, she had a bad misfire. And I didn't know what a misfire was. I just, it was running rough. It must need spark plugs. So I took my own money, had my grandfather take me up to the auto parts store and buy a set of spark plugs, a cap and rotor, and a set of plug wires. Maybe not a set of plug wires. I don't think there was plug wires involved. Anyway, the cap and rotor was just based off my grandfather's recommendation. And I was doing this because at the time my grandfather was still working a full-time job, sometimes 70 hours a week. And I wasn't about to watch this guy. I watched him work my whole life up until the end. And I wasn't about to, I was going to snatch some of this glory up as far as I was concerned. So I'm 14 years old, and in a Ram Charger truck, you could sit in the engine bay on the wheel well because it was metal. On the wheel hub, the wheel tub, and sit there and work. So I changed out the plugs one by one. Made sure to keep track of where the plug wires ran to. Put everything back together, fired it up, and it ran great. Uh, and that feeling I got, not just from uh, helping my mother, which I did a lot of, and most people will attest to that, uh, was that satisfaction, that feeling like I fixed this, you know. Um, yeah, because uh, I think people need more of that in their job. Money is great, and I'm not saying technicians don't make money, but or mechanics. I guess it depends on what you want to be called. Me, I'm a mechanic. Technician was a title I used at another place I worked for 12 or 13 years, however long I was there. Uh, you got to find that in whatever it is you're doing. And this I tell my kids this all the time. I don't care what you want to do when you grow up. If you want to be a teacher, cool. Um, you need to weigh out your consequences, your risk factors. Yes, but they do not weigh as much as your happiness. Now, if your idea is I want to be a freeloader, well, you ain't getting that around my house. Everybody puts something in. Everybody works. Everybody drives. Keep moving. But you search for happiness, and I'm not saying you shouldn't make money, but sometimes the satisfaction. That was my daughter texting me right there. Sometimes the satisfaction, to me, plays a bigger part in the overall outcome monetarily. Now, I like money just like anybody else, but I like it for the reasons of comfort for my children, being able to pay my electric bill and my water bill and my mortgage, keep insurance on my vehicles and food in the pantry and stuff like that. That's all as much as Americans don't want to see it that way, those are luxury items. Now, I'm not saying everywhere else in the world is crap, because there are great places to live elsewhere, but you got to toot your American horn every now and then, I guess. But we have it pretty good, and I think because a lot of us don't have it as good as we think we should, that you got to take a step back and look at your happiness. Search for happiness. So my happiness is putting spark plugs in a truck, or fixing an air conditioner, or, helping somebody diagnose a weird electrical issue. I had a vehicle not too long ago that was a 07 or 06 Toyota Tacoma, no throttle response. So in my head, I'm immediately going, oh, it needs the throttle position sensor, the one made into the throttle, the pedal. So I changed that, didn't change it. Changed the throttle body, didn't change it. And I'd never come across this issue before, and evidently it's a very common Toyota Tacoma thing, that the ECU fails. Now, instead of giving up, because I need the satisfaction from fixing it, I kept moving, and I explained to the customer, hey, here's what it's going to take. We're going to get it fixed. It's not leaving my shop, my hands, until it's fixed. So find your satisfaction, find your happiness, find something you do well, and the money will follow. So that's the moral of today's conversation, today's episode. If you do what you're happy doing, what you're satisfied doing, you'll never really work, and you'll find that the gains of being able to do this, the experience, will lead you down that yellow brick road of monetary compensation. So do what you love. On that note, we are 11 minutes into this recording, and it wasn't really about cars per se. It was about satisfaction as a mechanic. So on that note, I'm cutting it off right now. So make sure you like, subscribe, question, comment, concern. Shout out to my kids, Peyton, Lillian, and Tim. You guys are awesome. All right, folks. Subscribe. Hit the button. I'll be watching. Appreciate it.